We're back. It is January 19th. It is a Friday. Happy Friday. Yesterday we started a little recording and didn't realize I forgot to transfer all the files from the previous day off the SD card. I saved the files, but then I didn't delete the SD card one. So anyway, we are back at it today with the gate door. Two big projects right now. Gate door and our window awning. Those are the two things we're working side by side with those, because staining and drying and all that takes time to wait, so you might as well start something else and kind of go back and forth. So this is what we did yesterday. We already had the two sections finished, and then we had one section here that we had to put in here. We did sand. Janee did a lot of the sanding, just to get a good sand on it. We have to do more, as you can see from glue dripping when we put these together. I'm looking at this and see the straps, we don't have clamps this big, so we try to use clamps and gravity to really try to get it down as best we could. I'm not super happy with this. I could see a dowel there and a dowel there, barely. Now that part's actually going to get covered up anyway, so it's not a big deal, and it may not be the strongest right here, so I need to be careful when maneuvering this around. In fact, I may get a first stain on here. I may just sand it while it's up and just not move it around too much until we get these boards on, because we're going to have 4x6s going all the way down, and all this is going to get attached to it. That alone would probably secure this whole thing, but I wanted to glue it anyway, just to have some extra strength, especially with gates that tend to bang and all that. Okay, and then the other thing is the window awning. So we want to make sure, without any chance, we want to make sure we're dead on center with the studs of the building. Good news is this already had a stud in the exact spot we need it. So we opened that up and I was able to put a screw through it just to know exactly where that stud is through the outside siding. This side, however, I had to build a little extra stud in here. This is not going anywhere. We've already connected it, and when it compresses together too, it's just not going to go anywhere at all. Okay, and then out here is what we've connected. Now, one thing I do need to look at is, once we got it hung, we thought, man, I wonder if we should have came down another inch to clear that even better. So I'm going to get the ladder out and put my mind at ease that it's okay. It should be when I did the test earlier, but we're going to have about another, let's say, 2 inches on top of this board. So we're going to check that out. First thing I might do is actually paint these conduit poles. These are 1 1/4. These are going to be used in the awning and also in the gate, just more for looks. The awning might help a little bit with support, but mostly for looks. And then these are the 4x6s. We got sand and stain. These are going to be top and bottom of the gate, and then the rest of these pieces are the awning. That one probably could have used another coat, which I can do later. Alright, these are number 14s, 3 inches long. These are going to be what's used for these brackets to go into the trim that is secured to the studs of the building. And that's going to be for the gate post. That's just going to be extra support. I do have the post in concrete, but again, this is a huge door, heavy door, so might as well go overboard. I'd rather go over than have you know, even the railroad tie with the concrete come out at the spot, which you never know, because this is super heavy, so this is good extra support. Unfortunately, these hinges did not come with hardware. Some of the other smaller ones do, but that's a perfect fit, number 14. So, I don't know if I mentioned this in a prior video or not, but for the corrugated metal, for these screws, sheet metal screws, I actually soaked it in muriatic acid. I just soaked it in muriatic acid and then put some hydrogen peroxide in it, let it sit for a day. Let it sit in there for a day in muriatic acid, then put the muriatic acid or hydrogen peroxide in it. And I mean, it just rusts right up when it dries out. So this will match the rusty metal, of course. I don't want shiny screws on their nice rusty metal. So I'm going to be doing the same to these. But there's no rush on it, so I don't even need to do it right now. Alright, let's go ahead and spray this one. Even though the back doesn't show, I like getting the edges, and you might as well, to help prevent some of the rust with water, might as well paint it. But these hinges were about $10 each. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to drill the holes for the conduit that's going to go through. I really would have liked to use industrial pipe, gas pipe, to go all the way through and then put a cap on the ends. That would be kind of cool looking. But you'd have to get a pipe longer and then get it cut and threaded, because it's not going to come out to the size we need. But what we can do is similar to what we're going to do with the gate, is just use conduit and then not go all the way through the end boards, but just have it in there that just dead ends inside the board and then goes through the other three all the way across. Here's the thing. I got 1 1/4 inch pipe, which, as I'm learning too, appears to be 1.5 inches actual width. So that must be a 1/4 on the inside. It looked like it was actually less than 1 1/4 inside. But regardless, here's the thing, is that when we're doing this and we want it level, we don't have any room, barely any margin. I mean, because the length maybe just slight, might be able to get it in there, but for the most part, no margin for anything off on this. So all the cuts, even when drilling through, is got to be level, centered all the way through, perfectly perpendicular. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm just going to pre-drill little holes. I already did one. And I'm going to do 2 inch from the bottom for one, and then 10 inches up from there, 10 inches up from there. And why I did that is because I did just to see where that other board, the support board's going to go on the end ones. It's going to be right in this area, so it's going to be perfect right between, and then I could put poles and have those at least spaced evenly. What else? So the end ones we're not going to go all the way through, and basically with this 1.5-inch drill bit or drill spade, whatever you call these. I'm just going to stop right at the head, and that will get me about that far, enough to get the pipe in there, which can be the pipe length. I could go just, you know, quarter short just to give some room. I don't care if it goes back and forth, it's the up and down support we want. What else? I think, and then I do have a way to get this. I think the easiest way to do this, to make sure it goes straight in and start it that way, is to get a board and actually cut one of these in a board straight, and then just line that up and make sure all these are straight. So I'll use that as a template to basically start the drill into the next one. That way my drill doesn't do anything. It's, unless I had a drill press, which would be ideal. I don't have a drill press. I don't know anybody that has a drill press either. Maybe that's an excuse to go buy one. That would be cool. Okay, so 12 and then 22. That's good. I think this is working. I'm just trying to, what I'm doing is I have a pre-cut board. I'm putting the bit in there just to make sure it's in the right spot, and this kind of helps as my initial guide so I don't go in at an angle. I actually saw something on TV. It's like a laser light that you can put on your bit, and then you could see if you're dead on or not. That's a great invention right there, and I may just have to buy one of those. But man, it'd be cool to have a drill press, but I think everything we're doing is a bit rustic. Okay, 3 holes. Now I can stain these holes as well, just to get some extra protection in there. Try this one. I can smell something burning. I wonder if my hand covering it's getting it too hot. Let's try this big one. All right, so we're in the commercial building, and as said, having issues with this hard drive, so I may have lost 2.5 months of video. And I just wanted to show kind of where we're at in case episode 52 is going to be kind of a big skip from where we were to right now. We've had snow just a couple times, and I think one was 8 inches, one was 4 inches. So we lost our footage on that if you're seeing this video right now. And man, I hope there's a way to get those files recovered. It's our journal, our log, our video journal. But regardless, this is where we're at. So showing what's in here, what we're working on, and we do have video footage of this that you would have just saw, because I would have played that before seeing this update, because we do have video from yesterday and a little bit of video from the day before. But we did start working on our big, huge 6x6 basically gate, and this is the back of it. We're going to be doing 4x6s on the sides. This morning, Janee and I came down when she was heading to work. I came down with her and we flipped this over. This alone is so heavy. It's going to get twice as heavy by the time we're adding some of these. So we're going to need like 6 guys to help us get it propped up. We've got 4 huge hinges that's going to be installed with on the railroad tie. See, we missed that video of where that we put the railroad ties. So now I'm going to take you outside and show you what we have done so far to this day, if episode 52 jumps right from basically starting on the metal in the trim to where we're at. So here we go. So what I've seen before on episode 51 is the metal tin that was starting. So now we've got the metal tin all the way through. This is where the jail gate is actually going to be a pop out, an extension with a cover over it. So that's going to be our main door eventually. And then we did add the decorative trusses, the gable trusses up there. I don't know if you call them truss or not. It's the gable supports. It's decorative. It's not supporting any structure there, but it looks pretty cool. Makes it more rustic. And then these we just put up, the 4x4s, and that's what's going to hold the window awning that we're working on right now. The jail gate, we just put it up there yesterday. It's actually going to go, is our side gate, and over by the road here, closer to where that hay trailer is. Here's some of the boards. This is part of the gate that we sanded and have our second coat on. These are going to be part of the window awning with the black poles. So I need to paint some more of those here starting today. A little tacky. I just did a second coat yesterday. So all right, and then over here we started it but didn't finish because we're going to be getting this electrical panel redone soon. Hoping at the end of this month or early February. And then we'll figure out how that's going to look, and then we'll finish this. And then back here, we started on this. This is where the shed's going to go in between these two trim pieces. We're going to have a water faucet coming out of the wall here, so that's where we can have our hose. This is going to be a shed about 4 feet out. And then this, where I'm walking, small little table area for employee area. And then this is just going to be our air conditioner units are going to mount up here. And then this area, we're going to have like a little pony wall right here. You can see the orange paint, and have one smaller jail door in here just for decorative to separate this area. This area is going to be where like the trash can, if we do a restaurant, it'll be where the grease dispenser is that we can have serviced. And then here's where the gate. So this, we have one concrete in for almost 2 weeks now. So that's just about ready. I'm going to put more brackets on it because this gate is so heavy. But the gate's going to be a big 6x6 gate right here, swinging outwards. And then once we get that in, we're going to set the other one, the other railroad tie in, and then we're going to have just a cross beam for just to kind of enclose it in across the top there. So, and that's basically it. And then up here underneath, we're doing the shiplap type of wood. We were going to paint it black where all the eave is all the way down, but we decided to do more of the decorative wood instead. It looks cool. Just makes it look a little more rustic. Okay, so between holidays and time off, it's about 2.5 months. We had some snow days. We had, I think, a week we didn't work down here because of snow. Of course, the holidays and family visiting, that kind of stuff. So anyway, doesn't seem like a whole lot. We're just keep it going, try to get a few hours a day, and if we can, on average, probably working about 4 hours a day at this point, just with the weather. Rain, snow, and just cold. We've been down to 2 degrees a couple times. That was pretty cold, and no higher than 20 something. That doesn't make it fun to work outside. So all right, today I'm going to keep going on working on the gate. That's the goal. Janee and I trimmed this morning after flipping this. We trimmed off the ends of these just to get a clean cut, and so it's ready for me to cut to size with this. So I'm going to go out and paint black on the poles, get that going. And then I'm going to come in and bring in those other boards and then figure out the measurement for these to be cut going this way. Here's the pencil drawing. I've showed it in the past video. If there is no past video, here's the pencil drawing. All right.